Let me give me an opportunity to paint a very positive picture of what I see in life. Let's start off with three good news I have. The first is city of Hyderabad. Amazing transformation from the rich culture and history it had, from what it is as a tech capital for this nation. We're literally inching towards being the best, if not the largest too. In every parameter you look at it, whether it's the quality of life, whether it's infrastructure, they do an outstanding job. So it's all, especially the transformation in the last 8 years, is something we haven't seen in the past. So on that count, let me congratulate Janab Muhammad Ali Saab, his Chief Minister KCR Garu and KTR Garu. If you look at Telangana at this point of time, we do about $1.53 billion worth of 1.53 lakh crores, sorry, 1.53 lakh crores of software exports, which is about in excess of about $22 billion. We employ about 8 lakh software professionals, mostly in the city of Hyderabad. We have the best of logos from around the world in technology, which it's a Google or an Amazon or an Apple or a Microsoft. They're all here in town. Equally good is that we have a fairly strong startup ecosystem. The T-Hub is now rated to be the best incubation center in this country, to T-Hub 2.0, and you can think about every potential technology application in any field of interest to you, whether it's agriculture, it's education, it's logistics. It can be healthcare, it can be anything for that matter. There is a startup that's there in Hyderabad which is doing work in this area. So therefore, the great news is that we live in a state, we live in a city which is all being led by technology. That's the first piece of good news. Let me move on to a second piece of good news, which is painting a much larger canvas for you. India is India is the fastest transforming digital society in the world. Out of the 1.4 billion people today, 1.3 billion of them have mobile phones. 750,000 of them have smartphones with them. Our public digital infrastructure is so strong at this point of time. Last year, we did 74 billion transactions, amounting to about $1.6 trillion using digital framework. So it's digital everywhere. Equally important is we are one of the lowest cost nations in the world in terms of cost of usage of data. It actually, in the last 10 years, it's come down by a 36x. And we are the lowest in the world at this point of time. So it's not just city of Hyderabad or the state of Telangana, but equally important is we live in a nation which is going through a major digital transformation at a pace which has never been seen before. Will it stop here? Will it slow down from here? The answer is an absolute emphatic no. It will become faster and faster than what it is today. On three counts I keep saying this. One is we'll see more amount of acceleration. Technology will accelerate more than what it is today. I'm sure several of you heard about the quantum computing. Qubits, as they're called, will probably make computing much, much faster. People are talking about 5G technologies, but the research that's going on in some of the IITs at this point of time is at 6G and beyond. The networks will become faster, they will become cheaper, and we will have ability to access them from anywhere in the world. And we also see that the technology, the second part is, it's amplifying itself. In the very traditional sense, technology had one application. That's the reason why it was called information technology. We collected data to make sure we took decisions based on the data aggregated together. But today it's no longer true. You're in the position to get data in real time, and decisions are being taken by you, taken by somebody else too for that matter, to make sure that they are instantaneous, they are real-time decision making that's happening. And see the exotic applications that come out of this technology now. I can see the room I'm going to go and stay in real time using an AR, VR application. I can think about printing a jacket for myself in 3D at this point, precisely fitting my contour. Or we can think about nanotechnology being used in cosmetic manufacturing. So all of this becomes exotic, all right, but it is in a connected world. And the last one, what I believe in terms of technology is democratizing itself. Accessibility is very high. Go to the remotest levels of rural India, you'll still find you are connected. I used to travel by train occasionally. We do have development facilities both in Vizag and Kakinada. Take the train and come back overnight. 10 years back, in several instances, the line used to drop off. Now, not a single instance it drops off. You're so well connected, irrespective of the patch that you're in. So there is accessibility, the affordability is becoming very good. So the sum total of it is this digital world does not stop here. It will certainly become much more faster. There'll be an acceleration, amplification, and democratization. So this is all great news. So why are we all here? There's also bad news that goes along with it. The bad news is in a connected world, the accessibility for information becomes much, much easier. The bad news we still have, we hope sometime it will change, that the technology doesn't understand a good guy and a bad guy. Because again, I keep talking about it, is that good and bad are very relative terms too. It's not very easy to say who's a good guy or who's a bad guy. The criminal could be, and criminal can also be there instantaneous for a momentary point of time. So the result is, in this connected world, the challenge that we have at this point of time is the bad guys also have the same access to technology as the good guys have. And who are the users of this technology at this point of time? Everybody in the society. We talked about 1.3 billion out of 1.4 billion people in this country itself having a mobile phone. So they're all in that connected environment. So it is an individual, it is a business, it is also the law enforcement, but all being challenged because of the technology. The individual has a threat of losing identity, losing money, getting into disrepute. All these are live examples at this point of time. Or you look at businesses. We have a risk committee in our company, which is now mandatory. It meets every quarter, all right, but a risk committee has to meet every 6 months. And the line item, which is the first item for agenda for discussion, is all about cyber and information risks in the company. The amount of money we spend at this point of time, I'm a founder of a publicly traded company, so I believe I'm told that I cannot disclose this number, but it's a fairly large sum of money. And from time to time, some of the threats that come by is unimaginable and costs you a lot of money. We had a worm sitting inside a server on the cloud. We knew which cloud it was, but we said, this is like a worm sitting in your cloud, is like you know that there's a thief inside your home. You don't know where he is. You don't know when will he act. He's a passive worm. What it required was a systematic shutdown of every system with a bomb of a money going to a multinational, I can't name them also, I believe, to remove the worm from the system. And it took 3 months for them to do it because it couldn't disturb the whole system. So what is it meaning to the corporate world is costs, prohibitively expensive cost. The other thing is that the ease of doing business has also changed. It is no longer as easy as it, one would say, we have 2 levels of authentication. Great, it's very good. But look at the pain that you go through in going through 2 levels of authentication. Can you avoid it? You cannot avoid it. And so is the case with the law enforcement. To me, this is not a battle. This is not a single instance that we will win or lose today with these criminals, with a criminal either. It's a war that will go on. There's nothing called a victory that we can celebrate today. It has to be an ongoing effort that goes on. So what do we need to do therefore? To me, there are 4 things. The first and the foremost, I think Mr. Anand also talked about it, is the level of awareness has to grow. It has to grow considerably from what it is today. And we have to catch, because can I therefore, saying there are so many threats in this digital world, can I walk out from this? No. I inhale, exhale the system. I have to get detoxed from my digital world occasionally because I'm getting so entangled with it. But certainly there's value to it. I'm not just crazy to get entangled with it. So the result is the awareness levels have to grow with people so that we all will protect ourselves. I think Mr. Anand again used this word called cyber warriors. Everyone has to become a cyber warrior. It's not just one single individual. The society has to become a set of cyber warriors. The second one is that we have to become smarter than these hackers. So which means the talent has to increase dramatically than what it was in the past. And we have, in a nation like India, where we have 1.4 billion people, we still have shortfall of talent. I'm sure some of you read in the newspapers, in the last 2 years, this industry suffered as much as 26% attrition, which means we lose 26% of our workforce every year. Imagine the large companies, the largest company in India, without naming them, 600,000 individuals they employ. 125,000 go away from the company. Every month they lose 10,000 employees. Imagine the type of problem. That's largely because I think we don't have the right talent in the country. And so also in case of cybersecurity. So we think we should increase that considerably. I also work on the G20, B20 on a task force. I co-chair it on something called Future of Work, Skills and Mobility. So we are trying to create something called a virtual talent pools, where people do not need to move from one country to the other country. We can control the requirements from wherever you are physically located. So the second one is we need to improve on the talent pool. My third recommendation is we need to have collaboration and cooperation to a very great extent. Again, congratulations to Mr. Anand for starting this initiative. I think all the stakeholders, whether it is the law enforcement, which is the police, or it is the business, it's the individual, it's the education institutions, all have to join hands together in making sure we will have a safer place. Let me conclude by saying I like to thank the Hyderabad police, the Telangana police, the Honorable Minister, for making this city, this state, a safe place to live. So I don't think we should be very worried about the cyber security. We are smarter people. We'll make sure that we'll control them. On that count, thank you very much and enjoy your rest of the day.